What's up? What's good, everybody? Welcome to another hot episode of the POPcast. My name is Miss Cosmo, coming, of course, with the fire and the punches. I've got my main man with me, Moochie, for the one baby.
Moochie for one baby. Please say the baby. I didn't call it.
Why do you sigh every time you have to say for one baby?
I don't
It's like
sigh,
you're
I
sad.
prepare.
Oh, you're prepared?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to disappoint the one baby.
She's trying to get me into trouble. If you don't stop.
He's always just like, it's not, don't forget, there is only one and not two.
To give it the energy it deserves.
100%. Oh, baby Wagamuchi. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Today we are joined by our guest, DJ Camo World.
What's good, Cosmo?
What's hot? What's happening?
Yeah, I'm okay. Thanks for having me.
Good to have you.
Thanks for having me here.
Yes, indeed.
Shout out to you guys.
We are back at Matt Black for our episode of POPcast today. Of course, if you haven't checked out the venue, it is out in Nickelway in Bryanston. Come through and support the brother. It is owned by DJ Fistas. And of course, we do have our commemoration in the back there because this week has been a tough one. I think for everybody in the industry, everybody who was a fan, everybody who is family, anybody who just appreciated the work, appreciated the efforts, appreciated the energy that Riky Rick kind of spread to the rest of South Africa. It's been a very sore moment for everybody. And yeah, man, it's also, I don't know, bravery on your part because you worked with Riky very closely. But of course, just to come through and shed some light, we are going to chat a little bit about him a little bit later on in the show. But wanted to kind of say thank you for at least being strong enough to join us, you know?
Yeah, it's not easy, but I think he would have loved for us to carry on his legacy, you know, and what he's built.
Absolutely. I think, we'll definitely get into it a little bit more into the show and give it the proper respect that it deserves. But definitely has been a somber week, and RIP to Mikado.
Yeah, man. And I think it's also just testament to how much work he had put into the industry. Somebody who was celebrating a number one, and also, I don't know, it's a bittersweet moment for DJ Venom and Shishiliza because they hit number one on Apple Music and trending on YouTube with the song Sundella. And that's the last song that Riky had featured on before he left us. And I think for Venom, it's really awesome for him to be taking his music to the next level, for him to be pushing boundaries the way that he is. But it's also like hard. Like, how do you celebrate a number one when the person who was helping you through your music isn't here anymore, you know?
It's very hard for the guys, definitely. First of all, congratulations to them.
Yeah.
The song Sundella, we know was trending, especially like on TikTok, and people were pushing them to put it out.
Yeah.
And I remember them frustrations with like, there's so many people featuring on the song, and it's hard to put the song together and get everyone in the same room at the same time, which you pretty much can't do. So you're waiting for a verse here. Riky must contribute, and Tiho must contribute, and putting that thing together. And you got two guys, one is a DJ, one is a manager, and just the synergies all together. To see them actually put the work out, and knowing that the video is coming out as well, we know there's a lot of emotions that are running around. The song literally just came out, immediately shot to the top of the charts, and of course dealing with the tragedy. So to Venom and Shishiliza, aka Bash, or is it Bash, aka Shishiliza? I don't know which way to say it.
It's the same brew at the end of the day.
Today we say, I think you celebrate your moment, because I think Riky, if anything, he was just about love.
Yeah.
Just a ball of energy, a ball of love, and it's evident in everything that he put out. And I think that we should celebrate this moment and celebrate the song as hard as he would have. Because it was, as much as it was a shock to the system, to all of us, he still left us with this gift. So even in his darkest hour, you can say he still managed to produce something so beautiful.
I mean, shout out to the boys. They really did a good job on the song. And shout out to Yams too, because he was on the beat.
Yeah.
He's a 19-year-old. I think he's coming. You guys better look out for him. You know? So,
and Respi as well. Respi's also doing really dope things. And especially because I see a lot of her videos that she posts on Instagram. And you could see like she's got the hunger. She's trying to, get herself out there.
She used to rap.
Imagine.
And then now she used to be a rapper. I didn't know that. I mean, the voice out. And on both, not just Sundella, what's the other song she's on? Is the first single.
The one with Teho.
Chopping. Chopping with AKA.
And she's telling a lot of people were like, oh, I thought you were on autotune on that chopping song. She's like, nah. It's purely her own. I mean, of course, the song is produced and mastered, but I mean,
she's got a good voice.
That's not her voice is not being altered, because a lot of people are like, oh shit, are you taking it to a low? her vocal ability, I feel like she's gonna be adding a lot of nice,
even value to the game.
Texture.
I'm excited about her career. I really, sometimes you look at someone, you're just like, hey, you don't know, maybe this one might just be giving us a one-hit nyana and then they're going to disappear. I really resonate with what she's putting out, and I feel like she's going to be here for a long time and she's really going to surpass all of our expectations. So big ups to everybody, Yams, Raspy, Shishiliza, Venom, as well as Blacki also on the tune. And of course, Tejo, yes, and Riky Rick on that one. Number 1, Apple Music, YouTube, keep on trending. Let's, bring it back. I love how the synergy also in the sound and the voices, it all just kind of comes together, So big ups to them for that. Talking about Blacki, he's actually going on a European tour with Earth Gang. Shout outs to the brother. I think it's a very, very big achievement for him to be doing this, especially because he's just kind of gotten into the game. He's obviously ruffling a lot of feathers. Everybody's loving what Blacki's doing. But the fact that he's gotten the attention of the internationals and still going to go on a European tour, 100%. I'm loving the energy.
How are you feeling, Kemo, about Blacki's rise right now and now taking to a European market? Do you think that they'll take well to him?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like he's got a very nice sound, especially sonically.
Yeah.
And a lot of people can relate to what he's talking about in his music. You can hear the emotions, the feelings. And he just sounds right behind the mic,
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing. Shout out to Blacki. I really feel like he has a lot of stuff still to come and bigger things are coming his way.
Absolutely. I love Blacki because, the more I listen to him, the more I hear him. Because his voice is very... he's got this high-pitched tone that he's going. Reminds me of the auto-tune type of T-Pain.
Yeah.
But even when you go back and listen to T-Pain, he's saying some real shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you get taken by the voice and the pitch of it and how unique it is.
I think he's learned how to use his voice, sorry.
Yeah, but the lyrics, he's a great songwriter. You know what I'm saying? And he's actually putting together great songs. And sometimes the vibe gets you lost in just the vibe. But yeah, go back, I'm listening. I put it on my TV, when I'm playing, I put the lyrics on so I can I'm trying to hear what the kids are hearing. Make sure that my looms is not staying behind.
Just making sure.
Just to make sure when I'm okay, I see you I hear the lyrics, but he's very musical and I hope as time goes on, people get to appreciate that a lot more. Outside of him making dope jams, he's actually a dope writer and is putting together really great songs. So I hope those who are maybe still trying to catch up to him and be I don't really give him that ear and be listen. If anything else, because he's actually saying some shit. So shout out to Blacki on European tour, man. Now or never.
Yeah, and I think it's also going to open him up to the rest of the world. Sometimes you need to kind of take that leap of faith and jump out and then say, okay, I'm going to sacrifice this portion of my time because I want to do something bigger. Because as South Africans, we've spoken about this before, sometimes we get caught up in the, okay, let me go to Durban, let me go to Cape Town, the money's closer here. But taking a risk and obviously going on this tour is really going to be huge for his career. I think it's going to open him up to the rest of the world where possibly we might even have to export him and be like, hey, man, go ahead and fly, And I only see bigger things for Blacki with this one. I think it's going to be really awesome for him to do that. All right, talking about the Europeans, somebody who's staying in the UK, but we're still celebrating here in South Africa, Miss Toya DeLazy and her partner are preggies. She's staying in the UK, so she's obviously, still trying to figure herself out, but I'm loving the new space in her life, the new time in her life. She's growing, she's becoming a better artist, she's also becoming a family woman, and it's nice to see that people are still thinking about growing and becoming families as opposed to just sticking in just entertainment the whole time. Because sometimes we can be too scared to say, let me take that leap of faith, let me take that next stage in my life, So, yeah.
Shout out DeLazy, man. I haven't heard from her in a while musically, even though I know I think I remember her dropping a project about a year or two ago where she put some music out. But shout out to her moving out in the UK. I hope she comes back to the music. We say congratulations for the baby. But we also look forward to the music because it's not babies are us. We're here to discuss
you see, it's people like you that make it so hard for people to say, okay.
I'm saying,
let me start a family. Now I'm sitting back now, I'm just I can't get pregnant.
Real life stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Real life.
And you guys making me sound like I hate babies.
Yeah. You do. Just say that.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, she's back in the news,
Yes.
right? And she's back in the news for starting a family. I'm saying big up to that.
Yeah.
I'm saying now I'm looking forward to hearing maybe the baby inspires some music, and because she's out in the UK, maybe she can shed a light on SA as well and bring some other artists out there.
Or maybe the music is done.
Maybe the music is done,
We don't know,
and it's coming out. Because I guess artists never stop working. They're just looking for the perfect time to drop their stuff. So I'm hoping to hear some more good news musically from Toya to Lazy. Yeah, I feel like I'm out here defending myself about babies and stuff. And
Why are you defending yourself?
I told you. You wanted to say babies earlier, but you see your stuff.
I love babies. I used to be Muji for the babies.
Are you gonna have a baby?
No, I'm Muji for Toya, the latest baby. I love that baby.
Running away.
What are you asking me now?
So you wouldn't start a family?
Who, me? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'll start a family. I'll start a family tonight. Right now. I'm pull up on you. We'll also be announcing our baby. But then people will be like, yeah, but when is the next episode of POPcast dropping?
Yeah.
See, it's the same thing.
Just do you, man.
Just do you. At the end of the day, just do you. All right. I think this week has also kind of made us kind of look back at our life, our struggles. I think a lot of people have been sharing on social media about how Riky's passing has also just opened up a few wounds about themselves, because I think a lot of people have been hiding a lot of their feelings. And somebody who opened up on social media is PH Raw X. He posted on social media about how he's been struggling financially, he's been struggling emotionally, and he just wanted people to also feel comfortable to talk about their struggles, because at the end of the day, all we can do is keep on moving, keep on pushing forward. And I think it's a conversation that a lot of people in the entertainment industry need to also just be aware of, just to say, yo, it's hard out here, but we're going to keep on looking at the positive light. We're going to keep on trying to grow. We're going to keep on trying to push forward. How did you feel about the post?
I mean, I feel like you said, as musicians or artists, we don't get to speak about such conversations. And I mean, when COVID started, it was tough for everyone, COVID came 2020, it hit us. There was no source of income. We had to find other ways of making money. And I think it was also a blessing in disguise, because I also managed to venture myself in finding other ways to make a source of income. And multiple streams of income, I think, is the way right now.
Yeah.
And the pressure does get to you as an artist or DJ, because you got to stay fly.
Yeah.
You got to smell good. You got to, there's so many things that you got to...
And they all cost money.
Everything costs money.
Money we don't have.
You want to drink the best bottle. You want to drive the best car, live in the best house, eat the best food. Like, all those things come at a cost. And you don't have to beat yourself too much. Sometimes you must just... stay in your lane, know yourself, speak to your people, and get help should you need help. It's not easy it wasn't easy for me. I don't think it was easy for you too.
I think we all struggled. I mean, the three of us sitting here as freelancers, the check kind of stopped. You kind of find yourself in a position where you're just like, oh man, how else am I going to move around? Because my job requires me to be in front of people. And when we're told to socially distance, it's like, okay, those people are not there anymore. How else are we going to get this check in, You start looking at different spaces, looking at different avenues. And some people don't have the foresight to kind of then say, oh, okay, this is not working. Let me jump through to the next one. Other people are just like, hey, I'm struggling. And it's like hitting ground zero, So it's also about how we move ourselves into a positive light, how we're going to try and survive. Because I think kind of dwelling in it is also, it's hard. Like, yes, you need to be aware of your feelings, but you also need to kind of keep going. Because the unfortunate thing about life, and I think that's what COVID kind of showed us, is that it still continues. People still want their rent money. People still want their car payments. People still want... You still have to buy food. Whether there's money coming in or not, you have to figure it out. So it's about that resilience that we all need to kind of push back into.
Absolutely. I mean, I think what artists must, not just artists, just people in general, what I like that you brought COVID up, because what it showed us is how we all share in the same struggles.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be silent about anything that you're going through, because we all found a community and speaking out when everybody else was struggling at the same time. Because you think you're struggling by yourself and you're just going through stuff by yourself, whether it's work or mental. COVID brought us all together because all we had to do was just talk. During COVID, we were all stuck at home, so everyone just started talking a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because like, guys, I can't earn money because now you see it.
Yeah.
But now that everything is like slowly getting back to normal, it's as if people must have learned from from the lessons of COVID that you're not alone.
Yeah.
only thing that COVID did was bring the conversation out into the forefront and be like, oh, everybody goes through struggles. But when you think you're struggling alone, that's when you keep quiet. Because you're like, everyone else seems to be having a good time. Everyone else seems to be going on. But what it made us think is like, yeah, even though I may be pushing forward, I may still be going through some stuff. So you shouldn't be scared to speak out about your struggles. And I mean, from even with Riky or Zuchi, not Zuchi, sorry, PH Roix, they weren't saying this for the first time. It's not the first time that they brought out things that they were suffering with, whether it's mental or otherwise. I'm not grand, but I'm gonna rock with you guys.
100%.
I'm not 100%, but I'm gonna give you 50%. They were very vocal about it. So sometimes we're like, oh, this person never said anything, or I'm so shocked. It's like, they've been talking about it their entire lives. From the time we knew them. If we just listen a little bit more or just pay attention, people are going back and listening to old songs, and not just Riky, even with PH. It was like, it's not the first time he speaks about struggles. He's spoken about being financially in a weird place. He's spoken about making hit songs for people and not getting the support back. So I think not, and we say be a little bit more kind, be a little bit more this. It's like, yeah, sure, just be that in general, but also just be real. I think we must just start off by people don't have to create a facade, and we're saying people folks need to stay fly. Yeah, sure. That's like a real life thing. It's not like something that you just say off the fly. It's like, yeah, I'm under, a microscope. So because I have to wake up every day, it's like I have to stay fly. I have to dry my tears if I'm not having a good day, and I gotta go do what I need to do.
Can't look like your problems, man.
You know what I mean?
But that's one thing I also need to understand, because I think everybody understands it. It's just, how are we going to change the notion around it? Because especially now, we're living in a time where social media puts the spotlight on everybody. What do you look like? What are you wearing? What do you dress like? And it's creating more of a barrier for people to not feel okay to speak, because it's like, I can't look like my problems, which is a fair point. Yes, don't look like your problems. But even then, you still need to feel vulnerable enough to be honest about who you are. Because it's not as if everybody's human. Everybody goes through problems. Every single person on this earth is going through something that they're struggling with. And yes, I can post a picture where I look sexy as hell, but in the next post, I'm allowed to look like I'm homeless because, wow, maybe this morning, it's been a long day, I'm dying with my problems. But the next day, I'm going to get up and look like that supermodel again. Why am I not allowed to post like that? Why do I constantly have to look like a mannequin every single day without being real? And I think the realness is what we also need to promote. And say, you can post what you're going through today, but then you can also post about you having a good time in Durban or Cape Town.
Yeah, social media plays a huge role. I mean, most people in the industry are just playing the perception game. You know, you're this person online, but in real life, you're not yourself. Another thing is, people should know, like artists, celebrities, whatever, they actual normal human beings.
With feelings.
With feelings, they go through struggles, they go through ups and downs. You know, life can never always be up. There's days where you're going to be down. So if we can also learn to accept that as individuals and artists and whoever we are, we'll be more comfortable in being who we really are at the end of the day, you know?
100%.
I think it's, we shouldn't try and change the world with our perceptions or how it's learning how to deal with how the world already is. You don't have to be like, oh, I'm going to change everyone's perception, then they must know that as I'm a human being and I struggle too. People already know that. But we're desensitized to these things because we're not plugging into our real selves every single day. Just, people need to learn to adapt to the world as it is and present yourself regardless of how it's going to be received. You know what I'm saying? Because we're worried about what people are going to say back. What you need to prepare people is like, people are going to say things back. And you may not like all those things. People tomorrow can be like, oh, look at this guy. He's gone from hero to zero or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, learn how to deal or teaching people that that it's okay to not be okay and to display that. Not to worry about people's words. You know what I'm saying? Because the struggle is deeper than just talking about it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter how many times you talk about certain things or whether it's people's perceptions, you're still going to struggle with whatever you're struggling with. So you've got other things to deal with when the cameras are off, when the music is off, when there's no off. You know what I'm saying? So there's no reason for you to like worry about other people's things because the struggle is with you personally. So you're going to have to deal with your shit regardless. So you might as well be honest from the onset. Because then at least you've taken out of the chapter. I say this, and I've been saying this consistently every week, this whole week, ever since hearing about Riky, is that, again, I bring it up, but he did not stay silent and suffer in silence. He consistently spoke about his pain. So you shouldn't wake up tomorrow and be like, oh my God, what's going on? It's like, no, you spoke about it.
Yeah.
He didn't pretend.
In interviews, in his
He
music.
spoke about it.
With
so
everybody.
That's the example people must follow.
Yeah.
Speak about your pain, and then you still show up tomorrow morning. It's like, yeah, I told you guys I pulled up here, even though I'm not okay. Don't pretend to be. He never pretended. I want people to keep thinking like, oh, Riky, you seem like you were so happy and everything. It's like, yeah, he said exactly how he felt. Maybe if you didn't listen or you weren't paying attention, you must go back and listen.
That's it, man. And of course, for somebody like Riky, obviously we're all sad and we're all somber right now because it's all a shock to the system. But there's also a lot of positive memories, I think, that everybody has. And that's why this is so painful. Because I think he shed more light than he did into his pain and into his darkness. And I think that's what I wanted to do today, is also just kind of celebrate the happy times, the happy moments, the posts, the memes, the conversations. I mean, I think we can all remember how Riky always just had a good heart, always had a positive energy towards people, let alone the culture, just even day-to-day people. How he'd pull up at a petrol station and, hand out some money. Sometimes I look at those videos like, hey, Peru, maybe you can send me some of that cash. I know the petrol attendants need it, but also, just kind of swing it by. But, Kemo, I know there's plenty memories that you can kind of share, but maybe some of your favorite moments where, you would sit down and have a good chuckle with the brother. Can, say something to the people?
I mean, Riky was a people's person. I mean, he like you said, he was very generous, like you said. He was giving, and almost everyone had a picture with Riky, like petrol attendants, security guards, cleaners, not just
Doesn't that delay you guys sometimes when you go to gigs and now Riky wants to stop and be Mandela?
Delay, but this is what he wants to do. This is a way of him showing love to his people, because everyone wanted a piece of Riky, and he was that guy. He shared a lot of love, light to everyone. I mean, for myself, I met him just after high school. I couldn't get into varsity. I was rewriting. I was depressed. And he found me in the Val. I was a stage manager, and that time he didn't have a DJ. And he would ask me like, yo, can you DJ? I was like, yeah, I'm actually a DJ. I was like, are you sure you can DJ? I was like, yeah,
Are you sure?
It's like,
you don't want to take a risk on somebody who's just saying,
who's this guy? At this time, Lulo Cafe was backstage, Spare Names were also there. I mean, everything was new to me because these are people I used to see on TV, and he literally gave me the USB. We set a set and we performed. It happened, and from there, everything else was history. The next day we did Back to the City, and that was the first time I actually went to Back to the City, and I was on stage.
With Riky.
Back to the City, my first time.
Shout out.
That was really a memorable experience. I can never forget that.
I remember even when you first started working with him, I think everybody was just like, and then Manje,
who's this guy?
Who's this twin? Where did he find him? Like Riky actually went out to find someone who looks like him so that he can be his DJ.
I'm just looking for a guy who's like, connect.
The only reason you're playing for him is because you've got a beard. I'm like, nah, man, stop it.
Do you really have the truth, Kamo, huh? I'm sure a lot of people doubted it, but big ups, man. I think it also worked for everything because, Riky's also about aesthetic. And I know I don't want to make it seem superficial, but like sometimes you have to look at the grand scheme of things. Like, he needed a DJ. But I think he saw something in you like, okay, cool, you're a DJ, but you also work with what I'm trying to put together because it's also about the swag. It's
really
also about what it looks like. It's about the energies. It's about putting it together. And I'm happy for you that you were able to also then take on the task at hand and be like, hey, I got to make this work.
Personally, I mean, I'll share one Riky story.
Yeah.
Riky called me Snaps because my Instagram handle is Sipo Snaps. So he used to call me, hey, what's going on? Snaps every time I saw him. The first time I met Riky or chilled with him was during Makufe in Bloemfontein. And it was back when, you remember DJ Drama came down and he went to Makufe? When I think it was probably the same time Casper recorded that ghetto song because DJ Drama had to come down for it. And we're in Makufe, we were having a good time, and I met him and I traveled there with Casper's team, and at that time, it was just like, hey, I was having a good time. I'm chilling with these rappers. It's it's a very, very solid effort for me on my side. And I remember going to like an after party and being in one of the buses. And I think I was in the bus with Boy Riky and Boy Casper were in the next bus. Bomo Lumo there, Dream Team was there. And I remember something specifically happening. Us on the road, on the way to after party somewhere. And Toyota Hilux tried to stop us. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? He came all the way, almost tried to run us off the road, only to find out that this dude, his girlfriend was in the bus with us. One of the girls who was in the bus with us was his girlfriend. So he was trying to stop the bus like, it's not happening. But Casper and Riky and I'm not going with my girlfriend. We literally had to stop on the side of the road. I'll never forget the girl's name was Karabo, because it became a thing. Every time he'd see me, he'd be like, Karabo! Almost run us off the road, and we had to stop with the bus. And then this girl, literally the boyfriend is like, Karabo, let's go. There's no way you're leaving with these rappers and going to this after party. And I'll never forget it. And that was my first experience. So every time I'd see Riky, he'd be like, hey, Snaps, Karabo. You remember. So, man, I remember how loving he was. I mean, it was the first time I met him, but it was like chilling with like my homie. And ever since then, it's always been love. And shout out to everybody who brought up the episode, because if you remember, we used to have a show called Microwave Boys. And one of our last episodes, I think it was the second last episode, was Riky. And he pulled up on us, and we probably shot maybe what is arguably the best episode of of Microwave Boys. A lot of people brought up that one time, that one scene that we have, and it kept trending this past week. And I mean, I'll carry that with me forever, man, because it's just like, that's Riky from the onset. You know, that guy wasn't like someone I saw every week or anything, but every time I saw him, it was like, I saw him just yesterday. So it made me feel like are we like best friends or something? I think Riky is like my best friend. I see this guy once a year, but every time I see him, he's just like, yo, it's like he wants to tell me a story. So he was always about love, man. And R.I.P. to him.
I think everybody, if this week goes by anything, everybody had a personal story. Everybody had a personal moment. Everybody felt like family. And I think that's one thing I admired about him, is that how do you have so much energy for so many people, for everybody to feel like they're your best friend? Because that's just the type of love that he resonated with. And he always had this thing of remembering people that he would meet or remembering people because of a certain situation. I'd always just think like, oh, his memory is so great, because I would meet people all the time. I mean, you go to gigs, everyone's just like, oh, I'm a fan. Next week, they're like, no, I met you at my mind. I'm like, yo, I don't even remember that thing. Me, I always just say, maybe I was drinking. I don't remember. But he would, without a doubt, be like, yo, this is where I met you, 1, 2, 3. And he would come and have that energy to come and hug people and to embrace them, which I thought was really commendable. For me, I think I could always just realize that he's just a family man, very warm, very, very comfortable, very accepting of a lot of people. And I think for me, it was also just one memory that I had was when I actually went to his house. I think it was last year or the year before, if I'm not mistaken. And we're supposed to be in studios, supposed to be working on some music. So, you know, typically studio time, you just go in, you rock, you go home. So that day, luckily, when I had gotten to his house, he was just like kind of chilling. He was with his moms, and you know, COVID kind of gave everybody that whole thing. Okay, we're either going to make makwinga this week or we're going to make this thing. And he got into like, okay, I'm going to be Chef Riky.
And he came coming with the oxtail.
And I said, my brother, oxtail. I think he started that thing early in the afternoon. We only ate at 11.
Oh, you were there during the whole oxtail
Oh my God, we sat. You know when you're just like, wait.
Because the videos came late.
All dressed up and nowhere to go. But I think it also was just testament to how he wanted to make sure everything was perfect. He wanted to make sure that you didn't want to judge it incorrectly. He made sure that you wanted to enjoy it and come back for seconds. And I actually did have seconds. Hey, shout out for first time of him making oxtail. I was like, hey, my brother, at least you followed the recipe correctly. You know what I mean? We didn't die after that one. But also talking about episodes as well, because of how we had started with POPcast, and he had a relationship with the four of us when we had started the show, he would always just like watch the show. And sometimes, you know, we'd always be like, people are watching, but they're not really tweeting about it. They're not saying anything. The one person who would say something is definitely Makado. He would call every single one of us. I know Dimples would avoid his phone calls. But he would call, at least one of us would answer the phone. And it always seemed to have been me. And it always tried to like dissect what happened in the episode, how he feels about certain things, give his opinion, hear where we were coming from, and just kind of chop it up. Because I think he felt that emotional connection to the culture and what we were doing on POPcast as well. So I appreciated the support. I appreciated the love that he constantly gave. Always made us feel like family. Always just call just to check up. Even sometimes just like pick up the phone like, hey, Cos, how you doing? You know, how's the family? Are you okay? Are you all right? Are you keeping yourself abreast? And I love the fact that he would give that energy 110% of the time. So, hey, man.
Absolutely. Just one last thing came out.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, everyone's speaking about how Riky was really about giving with the kids and always helping out. Was that something deliberate in him where he was like, nah, I gotta help the next kids coming up? Like, he was it seemed like a very invested and deliberate effort of how he's always trying to put people on. And it came naturally. It never looked like Riky was trying to get on himself. It just seemed like it was selfless, but it was natural. Was there any conscious decision that he was making and saying, no, I must make sure that I'm giving back or that I'm helping?
With him is he could always relate to the struggles that all the younger guys went through, like just getting taxi money to come submit your video here or SABC, getting your song on radio, getting your music video on TV. He knew the struggles and what it takes for you to get yourself out there. So him helping you or boosting whoever you are at that time, he knows it'll go a long way. Because it's really tough for all the younger guys, just like small things, just to get your songs on radio, TV, meeting the right people, or just getting a gig. You know, Riky was that guy. He would actually introduce you to the guy and be like, yo, this is Cosmo. Here's the Sipo. Okay, you guys know each other now. Sharp. You know, he understood the struggle. He understood that what we go through. He really got it. Understand?
Yeah, man. And I think it's also testament to how he even started Cotton Fest. You know, because it's about giving the kids a platform. It's about giving them a stage so that they can perform. Because you can imagine how many kids are out there basically saying, yo, Riky's the guy who's taking us to the top. He can't help every single person, but he can say, okay, well, at least I can give you a stage, you know,
platform.
And you can rock and people can see you perform because there's only so much his hands can do. And I appreciated the fact that he could have the foresight to think about, okay, what else can I do? Because I can't necessarily hold everybody's hand and take them to the radio stations, but at least if people can see them perform, it's better than nothing, you know? And it's great that he still has so much love and so much belief in the kids and introducing us to so many really dope artists, Frank Casino, Big Hash, Costa Titch, Uncle Vinny. You know what I mean? These are people who have now established themselves in the industry, but we heard of them for the first time because of Riky. Well, most of us because of Riky, which kind of speaks volumes, you know?
Yeah, man. I hope all the kids that he's helped put up, I hope they carry on that energy.
Yeah.
I hope they themselves learn how to give back and give exactly back to the game what the game is giving to you.
Even from a fashion perspective, did you guys see that tweet where I think it was Gucci and Adidas are having a collaboration and everyone's just like, oh.
I remember that she was like,
the cotton eater would have eaten this up.
It seemed like
same time
straight out of Ricky's playbook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like he could just plug himself out here. He'd be the guy going, let me put you guys on.
Let me show you.
You guys don't starve the vision. Let me put you on.
Weren't you scared sometimes when you guys would have to like leave the house? But like, you know, now you're walking with this guy who's taking the biggest fashion risk, but he knows what he's doing.
I mean, he always wanted to prove a point. You know, he always wanted to stand out. He always wanted to break the rules. He didn't just want to be an ordinary, you know. Award shows, he wanted to look extraordinary. He wants
I think everybody remembers the mask.
The mask, the summers. So the funny story, he couldn't drink water through the mask.
Of course, because
we had to get a straw and make a hole. Yes. So every time you drink water, it's like, yo, what a crazy
I mean, he was committed to this mask. He wasn't going to take it off.
I literally wrapped the mask on him. Like, he told me, this is how you're going to do it, like this.
Where did you get that thing?
Where did he get it? I can't pinpoint exactly from where, but it was a whole outfit from a designer.
Talking about something like that, because actually the last time I saw Riky was in this venue. It was 2 weeks back. It was a week prior. So we were here for Blacki's launch for the For Love EP, and he had come in, and I think everybody was just like, "Who's this guy wearing a helmet?" He was wearing a motorbike helmet the entire night.
He never took it off.
Didn't take it off. Dedication to the cause. And I think even that night, like, it was one of those, like, just leave him because Ricky's just being Riky.
And even you were talking to people in the other mask.
That's the thing. I don't think he wanted to speak to anybody. I think it was also like his mechanism, like, nah, I don't want none of that heat. And a lot of people were just asking, like, who is that guy? And if you didn't know it was Riky, like, even when I saw him walking, I was like, it can only be Makado.
The time is coming with the bike. He's on a bike, full black helmet.
Yeah, man.
Biker boy style.
So I guess it's also just...
that is an artist who's in his own
dedicated to the cause, dedicated to
Too ahead of himself also.
to pushing the boundaries. And I think a lot of people also resonated to that, you know, about how his energy was always just so fluid to other people. Even so much so that I had actually read a post from Lady G when she was out in Europe with him. And apparently they were grooving, they were having a good time. And Ricky's energy was just so magnetic in the place that they were at in Europe that's when he got the picture with Lewis Hamilton, where Lewis Hamilton came to him because of the vibes that they were creating in that space. It wasn't necessarily a thing that Riky was the one who went to him for the picture. So even just that story and the post that she posted and her relaying that story kind of shows you the type of person that he was. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the presence, you know, it could be felt whether he's walking into a room or on a song or wherever it is. He had really a strong presence.
100%. All right, so favorite song, favorite verse?
Too many songs, I won't lie. But my favorite song is Joy because we made that song. I was in studio when we made the song and understand the message behind the song. Joy, you and I. If you listen to You and I Can't Believe It, the drum patterns are almost the same.
Yeah.
They were actually made off one project.
Oh.
Yeah, so You and I Can't Believe It. Those are my favorite songs.
Sipo?
Man, I really like the verse he had with Frank Casino.
No, which one?
On the whole thing.
Oh, the
thing.
whole thing.
Yeah. I thought that was dope. And I think he had been just a little bit quiet for a while before dropping that verse.
Yeah.
But once again, that was Riky showing love to a new artist.
Yeah.
And taking a song that was already bubbling and taking it to the next level. That's one of my favorite Riky verses. But I mean, every time you say, okay, let's do it like this.
You already know.
You already know. Sometimes, but my favorite Riky verse, or my favorite thing that Riky had said on the song, I'm not gonna call it the verse, is the Zulu Girls song that he had with POPcast.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what he was talking about, boys and toys and noise. And I feel like he was just in the studio and going on a vibe, and I kept going back. And I'd tease him about that. I'd be like, what were you talking about? Boys and toys and noise. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't think he cared either. It was just about the vibe.
Like, I'm
just
vibing
go with it.
Don't ask me what I'm saying. I'm vibing.
Just vibe with
Don't ask me questions. For me, favorite verse would probably be, I wouldn't necessarily say favorite verse, but I think the energy that he resonated was Summertime with the LES. Because I know of their friendship and where they had kind of come from, even starting with barbershop and how they had kind of got themselves into the industry. Because I had met Riky when I was still in high school. And we were both same grade. You know, but obviously him being at Hilton, it's not like he came to school this side, but he would obviously kind of come and hang out in the Bryanston area when he would come home for holidays and things like that. So I'd met him then. But kind of seeing his trajectory and how he would get himself into the industry was really like that energy because of him and Deleuze. They had that brotherhood, they had that, yo, man, let's take it to the top vibe. So I really enjoyed what they did on Summertime because it just kind of spoke to how they were building themselves from where they were in the beginning. But ultimate moment for me, definitely Bozonke. Also because I remember when he had just recorded the song and he was a little bit nervous about it because he had done the typical barbershop type of vibe. He had done Amantombazane as well, but I think he was still scared. Like, okay, do I really want to shake up the industry because people don't really know me the way to be this guy? And I was in studio and with him and Scoop, I can't remember whose studio we were in, but it just so happened, like, you know when somebody just arrives and we're all kind of there just hanging out. And he was like, no, I've got a track that I want to bump for you guys. Just let me know how you feel. Played Bozonke. I think we made him repeat it like 10 times that night. We're like, this one is going to shake up the country. Play it, make sure that everybody hears it. And he's like, you guys sure? Hey, I'm nervous. 1, 2, 3, what? Because he would always kind of question like, you guys 100%. And I think it also helped that Scoop was there as well because, Hype Man 101. So definitely exciting. And then when he performed it for the first time, it was Pop Bottles in Durban. And that was a rainy event. Yeah. Like it was pouring, but eventually we're all just like, you know what? We're going to go out there, we're going to support Mercado, jumped on stage as he performed it, and it was just electrifying. So,
perfect place to debut that song.
Yeah. So I think we all have a favorite song, we all have a favorite verse, but of course, even with the memories, it's going to live forever. Performance?
Best performance, D would know, Pop Bottles Botswana. Pop Bottles Botswana, and the last big Back to the City, was it 2019? I'm not sure when the last Back to the City was, but 2019, that was, goosebumps every time.
Yeah. Who started that Which Way, That Way
so,
idea?
With the song Buy It Out, Riky the main focus was always to find a way to make a song work or to make a song performable.
Yeah.
Understand? And we sat down, we're like, we need to find a way to move the song. Understand? And he started coming up with this thing of left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Then he came into which way, this way, that way. And during his performance, he would also always divide the crowd into left and right. So he would have them go against each other.
Yeah.
So from there, we realized, actually, we don't have to divide the crowd. We can actually make them move together as one. Yeah, so that's how it came about it. Yeah.
Dope. Sipo?
Performance-wise, I'm not sure which one to pick, but I think maybe Back to the City as well.
2019.
I was there. That might be one of my best ones. I mean, at the Dome as well, when he performed with, was it Fill Up the Dome?
Yeah, Fill Up the Dome. Was it Castle Light or Fill Up the Dome?
Which one was it? Because he did both.
Yeah, he had too many moments at the Dome. Yeah.
I think it might be I definitely saw him at both those. I think it was at Cass's Fill Up. I think also maybe just seeing that moment as well, because that itself, that was just like, yo, hip hop.
And also,
that was like just a special moment. But I remember just how he used to own the stage. It's almost like, you know, it's such a concert, but you're like, man, I wish it was. You know what I mean? Like when you go see somebody else that you like, but you're like, man, I wish this guy could continue and stretch this out. And I mean, Riky, I don't think there's a dull moment any single time that I've seen him perform, regardless of whatever. So it's literally every single performance, but I guess the one that is freshest in my moments are probably that. But the last time I saw him perform was actually in December, just now. He came and performed at Altitude, and I was chilling with him. He just popped in, he performed a few songs at some event that was happening there, but that was dope as well.
Crowd control.
100%.
Crowd control.
For me, it was... you know, Rocking the Daisies has this second leg that they do in Johannesburg called In the City. I think that's what it's called. And they did an In the City, if I'm not mistaken, I think in Mary Fitzgerald Square. I could be wrong. It might not be In the City. It might be a different event.
Rage in the City. Maybe Rage in the City.
I think so. Nonetheless, Mary Fitzgerald Square, everybody's going crazy. Riky jumps on stage. It was the first time he performed Stay Shining. Bro, I think everyone was just like, what sample is this one? What's happening here? And because mina ngimdala, so obviously I knew the original song. And I was like, oh, the way he's flipped it up is just crazy. And I just wanted him to perform it over and over and over again. But I fell in love with that song because of the performance. So for me, that will always be memorable. And I still play that song because of that performance. Because I remember how I felt the first time I'd seen him perform that song. So I think everybody has a different moment, a different feeling, a different connection to him. But yeah, man, I think now all we can say is even to him, well, to the family, our condolences, our love, our support. And yeah, man, we're going to keep on supporting and keep on going to cut our hair. Legends Barber,
forever.
You know, forever.
Cotton Fest is going to be up there. The show is going on, right?
I think it should.
I think
it should, man, because like I said, definitely it's a tragic loss, but just Riky never gave us any of that negative energy. And I'm not calling death negative, but in his true spirit, how he kept going on, I think the best way for us to do it is to definitely celebrate him every chance that we get.
The thing is, I think also because he was still calling people the night before to then say, yo, I need you for Cotton Fest.
Yeah.
Kind of shows that his energy was still on Cotton Fest and we need to kind of continue it from there. So hopefully we'll be able to push it forward and everybody will come through and support. And it's 2 days. So 2 days of making sure we celebrate the late, great Ricardo Mercado. Flaming Hot, Flaming Not. We got some new music.
Yes, sir.
Yes. All right. Zuchi, Coke Dope, dropped his EP. It's called Anxiety. Featuring some really awesome artists, some people that we love and support as well. And love what Zuchi kind of does with his music and how he explains himself and also songwriting, producing, even just performing. And we're hearing it all kind of come through in this project as well. He did a really awesome song with Nasty C and Blacki called Lift Me Up, which I really think is really dope. Also, the prelude that he has with Tillerman and Stogie T, I think kind of connects and puts the whole project together as well really nicely. Have you listened to it?
100% dope project, 7-pack.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know if it's he's saying it's anxiety plus.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's
anxiety plus.
bonus or just like
It's like
the next chapter.
It's the next chapter of anxiety. Yeah.
Fantastic. I thought it was a really dope project. I'm bumping it right now. Not right now as I'm talking on this. But like, you know, in this present situation. And I think it's very, very dope. The song that he has with Blacki, absolutely amazing. The opening track, absolutely amazing. Just all 7 tracks. Zuchi, very great putting songs together. Melodies, he understands it from, and there's other producers who put out songs, but he's an artist. Zuchi's an artist. And of course, he's modern. I count him the same way as you think about Kanye West being a producer and an artist. Like, can play both roles and execute at a very high level. I feel like Zuchi is doing that. Very, very dope project.
Yeah, Zuchi Coke Dope is really, really a dope producer, artist, writer, composer. You know, I haven't bumped the whole project, but I bumped the song with Blacki and SDC, and I'm already liking it. So shout out to him. I feel like he still has so much to give to us.
Yeah.
And I would love to get in studio with him one day. It would be dope.
Hey,
I don't know what would happen, but I don't know.
Are you gonna give us a whole project of you just
man,
like? Are you just gonna chat the whole time?
Am I gonna chat?
Yes, I think that's what you do.
I got bars.
Really, give us a bar.
You don't know bars.
Yeah,
bars,
it's tricky
stars,
now. Oh,
cars. You don't know what I got. I got talent. Don't hold me back, Miss Cos. Mo. One day you're gonna be sitting here reviewing my song and be like, yeah. You know, I used to host the show.
And then I'm gonna say, remember I used to hate all of your songs? Well, this is karma coming back. Okay, somebody else who also dropped an album this past week, Faith K, and it's called Nangena. And I've spoken about Faith K a couple of times on the POPcast, and I've enjoyed how she's kind of grown.
Yes.
From the first time I interviewed her with 7 to where she is today, I definitely see how much energy she's putting into her music, how much effort she's also trying to grow. And you can see that as she keeps recording, as she keeps putting out more music, she's just getting better and better, and she's giving out her own sound. And I love how she's tapped into her natural self and not necessarily trying to put on this is what people want from me, so I'm going to give them that. But rather saying, okay, who is Faith K? Let me put that into the music. And I'm getting that from Nangena. I played Bounce on my radio show a couple of weeks back, and the reception was really good. And it's got a nice, like, light type of energy. So big ups to her, man. I'm loving the direction.
Definitely share the same sentiment, especially on your point about growth from Faith. That's what I'm loving. From when I first heard her start to drop music to right now, there's an actual trajectory of somebody who's constantly trying to better themselves, trying to, you know, figuring it out and sounding more and more comfortable. Nangena with Singer, very, very dope track. And even Bounce, I bumped as well. And I'm seeing a direction, a very cohesive body of work, and I'm trying to get into it a little bit more. But those 2 songs that I've bumped so far, I'm loving the growth and the sound from her.
I think she really has a strong team behind her. So it's been really pushing her to become a better artist. And she's also putting a lot of effort, which you can tell, music, look, music videos. And yeah, I like the joint with Zinger on the project. And I wish her all the best, man. I really think she's a dope person. Yeah.
I like the point that you're making about the fact that she's got a dope team behind her. Because sometimes as an artist, you can have a talent, but sometimes you need someone or a team to kind of to push you or to guide you in a certain direction. And I do think because of the team, it's why she's starting to grow in a certain direction and sound much better and look much better and put in more effort. And shout out to the team because, there is definitely a lot of that growth that is showing in the music. And it's only going to go up from here. All right. Somebody who I questioned and I was like, but where is this broer? And I think a lot of the industry was also just like, okay, he's taking a break, he's trying to find himself. And sometimes you worry about people taking too long of a break because you're just like, okay, but are you going to fizzle out when you come back? Is it going to be strong enough? I'm really loving what J Molly is doing on the song called Soaring. And I'm speaking to testament of him kind of experimenting with the sound because it's got that drill vibe kind of going in. But I also appreciate the fact that he's also, you know, expressing himself on the song a little bit more than I've heard him in the past. And I really dig it. Like, shout out to J Molly. I'm glad that you took the break that you did. And coming back with a track like this, 100%. I'm excited to hear the rest of the project.
I definitely don't share those sentiments at all. Not about that drill song. And I love J Molly as an artist. I think the kid is very dope. I don't know what it is about this drill beat that he's on. He just sounds uncomfortable to me.
Really?
On the first few listens, I was like, I'm not taking to it the way that I thought that I would. You know what I mean? Because you used the 2-pack, right? Or it's 2 singles from the upcoming 4 project. And the one song is I won't say typical, but it's more J Molly's style.
Yeah.
The drill one caught me off guard, and in fact, when I was bumping the one song, I thought it was the only one song on that project. So you know when you play the one, it just skips to the other available track.
The other one.
I didn't know there was a 2-pack. So the other song started playing. I was like, "What is this? I don't like it." I was still listening to it. So I've been taken well to that song at all.
The drill one.
The drill one.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is, but that's just like my first few listens to it. It sounded, I don't know if it was a shock to the system or because I wasn't prepared for it or what's going on, but so far, and what I've heard from it,
do you think you're just not enjoying drill as a sound?
No, I'm bumping drill. I'm not bumping drill, okay? Let me know. But I don't hate the drill sound at all. I like it. You know, some UK dudes are doing it. Or
if I remember correctly, did you like when Roy did La Vida Loca? You said you didn't enjoy it, right?
I didn't particularly enjoy it. And I enjoy Roy.
But the song is growing.
The song is growing. But when I first heard it, I didn't like it. But I hate it way, way less. So when if I can give you that, I still haven't like completely, because I love Roy as an artist. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a very dope dude.
But that's why I'm asking, because it just feels like every time there's like a drill. Yes, there's like a drill influence. You're like, nah. And I'm loving it.
The drill thing is very tricky. A lot of people,
you have to know how to get it right.
Yeah.
You can't just jump on a drill beat and then say, yeah, no, it's hard.
What do you think of Soaring?
Soaring, the drill one. I think I need to listen to it again, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
my first time hearing J Molly. It's my first time hearing J Molly on a drill beat like that. And I'm not used to that kind of style, hearing him on that kind of style. So maybe a few more listens, I don't know.
I hear you. I think maybe for me, the reason why I'm enjoying it, well, personally, I really enjoy drill. So I think already because
Don't get me wrong. Sorry,
no.
I'm
not saying you guys don't like drill. But I think I'm a little bit more open to hearing people taking risks. And one thing I want artists to do is to experiment, is to kind of get themselves out of their comfort zones. And when you do that and you take a risk, you get my attention. And that's why I think I'm enjoying this J Molly, and I enjoyed the Roy because they did that. And you might find that sometimes you feel uncomfortable because you're just like, man, I know you in this lane, just stay there. But I also think it makes artists complacent because you want them to stay there. And when they take risks like this is what you do to kind of expand them and to get them into different spaces. So that's how I've kind of viewed it, and that's why I'm enjoying it. But I understand needing to hear it a couple of more times.
I'm really anticipating
People's just like, nah.
Look, I don't know about that. I appreciate artist experiments, no doubt about it. Sometimes the experiment doesn't make it to us. Just experiment in the studio yourself.
I'm really anticipating the full body of work. He only dropped 2 songs. So I can't really wait to hear what he's been cooking up. And I think it was a dope move for him to take time off music, just to reboot and refocus and get back into studio. I trust he's in a better place right now. And I can't wait to hear the full body work.
He's not a whack artist, so I imagine that the rest of the work sounds very dope. If it's experimental, I'm excited to hear where the different experiments weigh in. Because like I said, that 2-pack, 2 different songs. So if the rest of the album, we don't know which direction it could take. But definitely excited to hear
it. Sounds like the other one, not the blue one.
I hope it's the other
Just stay here. Don't do this one. Is that what you want? Hey, tricky. Okay, somebody else who's also giving us a different vibe. Okay, Malum, Cool Cats with Ushugela Etienne. So that album is going to be dropping in April. I'm quite excited. We have spoken about the first track, which we had dropped a couple of weeks back, if not a month ago, if I'm not mistaken. So the next one dropped this past Friday, and it's called Lokshin Kom Wave. Giving us a little bit of a glee, but not so much a glee. And I understand the thinking and the space that he's in.
Sound like me.
What? No, I'm enjoying it. You guys must also understand that sometimes an artist is also influenced around the people that they're with and the space that they're in and the vibes that they're in. Malum Cool Cats has been in Durban for the past year. So for him being at home, he's back into that space of, okay, we're going to take it back to the top. So for him to release a song like this is also kind of testament to the energy that he's feeling around him right now. So yes, I'll agree. It's not exactly what Gri is and what it did for the culture, but I am still enjoying it just as a single.
I don't know if you think maybe I was gonna hate the song. I love the song.
No, but you thought I was gonna hate it. That's what you were gonna.
I think that's where you were going. Because,
No,
you know, me, I like to
My
come
name's
with
not Sipo the hater.
I kind of
No.
from the least.
No.
But I love the song. I was bumping it in my headphones properly, hearing it, and I was just like, you know, last week it was DJ Lag who was winning me over with the Gom sound.
Gom is gonna be popping in his house 7 a.m.
And now it's Malum Cool Cat, very comfortable and you know, on a beat like this, of course, doing what he does best. And I love it. I love it better than the first one that we heard, which I thought was dope as well. But like something about this song, man, just made me feel like maybe, and I heard it when I was in the party mood. So I was already like bumping. I was like, hey, there's a song that I need to bump. Sure. So it just took me to the next level.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But I love this. I love the song just. And could Gom culture, the Gom people at home, I just want to address you very quickly.
The people at home or the person in your home?
I've been talking a lot of shit about Gom and I'm going to decrease that going forward.
He's been converted. I want to say a big shout out and a thank you to the one baby because, you know, we've got now a Gom lover in the house and no longer a Gom hater.
Hey man, it is what it is. I'm just trying to keep my family together.
What do you think of the track?
I love it. I mean, Gom Wave, Maluma Cool Cat, I love him on Gom. Like, he really knows how to jump on a beat like that. And I can't wait to hear what he still has for us in store. You know? I think it's a dope song and it's still going to grow on people's ears as time goes on. And I wish him all the best to you.
I'm excited for the album. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm a fan, so I'm excited to see.
We miss his presence in the
energy.
scene.
But I like the fact that he's been strategic as to how to release the music because I've said this before. In COVID, he decided to drop just the EP because he was like, everyone's chilling. I can't be there saying Omswango the whole time because no one's going to be jumping up and down to the music. So rather drop the party music at a time where things are open. So this is why the timing now for the album. And it's 18 tracks. It's going to drop in April. I'm excited.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking, for commenting. Keep on supporting the POPcast. A big thank you to our guest today, DJ Kamo World.
So
hopefully we're going to get more music from you. Kamo is somebody who's also got the same energy. I think Riky kind of left that with you about working with artists we don't necessarily know, but making really dope tracks. And I love the energy and the sounds that you're kind of putting out, and the fact that you are experimenting with a lot of your sounds, because I think it's dope to also kind of hear different ways to articulate what hip hop is. So what's next for 2022?
2022, more music. I'm currently back into studio making music. Currently working on 3 projects as we speak, and my main focus this year is to work with more female artists because I haven't, in my past project, I didn't even have one female feature, but my past single featured Buntless Smith.
Smith.
I really want to get into that vibe.
DJ Kamo World decided he's going to have Buntless Smith, Sizwe Alakine, and Reason.
on one song.
On one song. Reason and Sizwe Alakine. I don't understand. Is it getting double royalties or which one?
What's going on? It's the same licensing.
What was the thinking behind that?
If I can tell you the real reason after the song, I made this song. We made the beat with me, Gobi. I had a sample in head. I can't tell you what the sample is right now, but I'll tell you later on. We then got into studio on the original song. Focalistic was on the song.
Oh.
You understand? He had a verse and a hook. And then the song sat there for like 3 years because we made the beat in 2019. Last year I was like, I can't waste this beat. So I want to,
re-energize,
put it back into actual use. I called Reason, he came, he was like, yo, this is the one. And then he shied a verse, he shied a hook. And he was like, yo, this is how we're going to do it. Because I'm rapping and I'm coming with the piano vibe also. So we're going to have Reason and Sizwe Alakine. And then I was like, okay, the song sounds fine and stuff, but it needs a sweeter texture, just to balance it out. And then we reached out to Buntless Smith, and that's how the single S6E5 came about.
Dope. Hopefully we'll get a video
Yeah.
I also don't know, maybe you're going to have Sizwe Alakhane and Reason in the same shot.
2 different characters, 2 different scenes maybe.
You're going to pay a lot there for the editing. But anyway, we wish you the best. And of course, we will support and keep on getting the music out there. Please get more females on. You know, that's always been my directive. But I love it when the guys do that as well. So shout outs to you. And thank you so much again for your energy for today.
Thank
Couldn't have
you
been
for
easy.
having me.
Yeah. And of course, you know, keep on supporting the POPcast. We'll be back again next week, Tuesday, as we always do. Please stick around for What Matters to Moochie.
Yes, sir.
For real views. And remember, cotton leaders never die. They multiply.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's your boy, Moochie. And this week, what matters to me is you. That's right. What matters to me is you for a change. I think after the tough week we've had and all the discussions happening on social media at the untimely passing of Ricardo Mercado, it is very important for us to keep the conversation going, or at least to keep the conversation open, speaking about mental health. There's been a lot of conversation, especially about men suffering from mental health and not speaking up, on a space not being provided for men to speak up. And the truth is, the space does exist. And it is up to us as men to speak out outside of our friendship groups, outside of our families, to speak about our own pain. In order to continue creating the conversation, we have to continuously speak about what's happening in our lives. I know that it seems as if, we live in a society that says, you know, guys must be strong and guys mustn't do this and guys mustn't do that and but the truth is that the exact opposite is what we need to encourage and create an environment for. And speaking out doesn't necessarily mean that your problems just automatically go away. We speak about, and I've been saying this over and over again, and I said it in the episode, that it's not a surprise, or we shouldn't act as if somebody didn't speak up. Like Riky, for example, he completely spoke about what he was going through. And what we should have taken an example of is that we should always just create an environment where people can openly speak out and not be judged or made to feel like shit for speaking about their pain. When somebody decides to take a decision like that, it is not up to us to talk about, we could have saved your person's life, or we should have done this, or we should have done that. Because the truth of the matter is that we can't really do anything outside of create a conversation and let people know that help is out there if you need it. And the conversation afterwards, all we need to do and speak about people's lives is just speaking about how they lived rather than what they did at that time, because there's nothing you can do. And the conversation is not about us. It's never about us, the people who are left behind, to continue the conversation or to ask ourselves what we could have done to save somebody's life. That is never up to us to continue, because everybody else who's suffering is also sitting there thinking that that person has been freed from the pain that they went through. So rather, let's create conversations where everybody can come through and speak about exactly what's going on in their lives. And let's leave the savior complex of trying to act like, we can go around saving lives if we just speak about it. No. All we need to do is speak about our pain, seek help for depression or anxiety or anything else that you're going through. But after the fact, it is not up to us. We're not here to save anybody else's life. We're here to create an environment where people feel space or feel safe to speak about their pain. That's what matters to Moochie this week. And man, much love to everybody out there suffering. That's it.
Hey, everybody. This is Real Views right here on the POPcast. So for this week, I am going to be reviewing a show on Netflix called Inventing Anna. So I had mentioned it a couple of weeks back when I reviewed The Tinder Swindler, and I did say that this show would be coming up, and I'm excited to kind of see how it kind of switches things up. So it is based on a true story, but obviously because they are basing it on a true story, they still have to kind of add their own kind of drama to the situations and the ideas. But it is a story about a lady by the name of Anna Delvey, who basically goes into the New York social scene and swindles her friends and swindles people out of money. One thing I've just never understood is why people are just so willing to give without doing any due diligence. But I do commend her for how she was able to maneuver her way around without having to pay a single penny and living the high life of New York society for so long. Go out there and check it out. It is on Netflix. I think it's one of those stories that you just need to kind of watch and see how it is categorized and put together. Production is really great, obviously, because it is produced by Shonda Rhimes. But the story in itself, the original story, as well as what they've depicted on Netflix, really do match up. And if you go back and you investigate and you see where her life story is, you kind of chuckle a little bit because you're like, whoa, she actually almost got away with everything. It's just that she made one simple slip and got herself into jail. So, hey, man, I think it's really good entertainment. It is a really good series as well. Do check it out. Like I said, a limited series on Netflix, Inventing Anna.